Hello and welcome along to the podcast. This week, Efe OhwoEfesa has joined me and talking about something that is very important in business. And it's all about setting goals for smaller businesses. We don't forget the smaller businesses. So, first of all, Efe, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Martyn. It's always good, as always, to be with you on this podcast show.
Let's get stuck straight in. Why is goal setting important for small business owners?
A very interesting question. I just came back from holiday with my wife now. We went away for our 15th wedding anniversary somewhere in Greece. And while on the plane, before we get on the plane, I saw a couple of men and I asked them, hey, where are you coming from? Where are you going? They told me, and I asked them, what do you do? And both of them told me they own their own businesses. And I asked them one question, what led to this topic? And I asked them, what do you find most challenging being a business owner? And he said, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, I feel stressed. Sometimes I don't know what exactly I'm really working on my business. And I asked him, what are the consequences of that? He said, if he's stressed, if he pulls some direction, and sometimes I feel like giving up. So I told him that I'm an expert. I work with business owners and I help them to set goals, help them to make a plan of action and to make it happen. So going back to the question, Martyn, if I was to bring this man to my business and guide him and mentor him, what I will share with him is what I'm going to share here on this podcast today. So as an overview, goal setting is a crucial part in running a successful small business because goals, they provide direction, motivation, and a clear way to measure progress. And so I'm going to talk about why set goals, the types of goal you could set, and the characteristics of goal setting, Martyn.
That's excellent. And I love it, the way you've included it, because it's something you've just experienced while away on vacation. The sort of things that happen when you go away on holiday and it springs to life in your mind and you're talking about it today. So it's very appropriate. So how do you define a successful goal?
Before I will talk about how do you define a successful goal, let me talk about why bother to set goals. Why bother to set goals? I'll just about three things. Number one is direction. Goals give you a clear path to follow. Number two is motivation. Goals inspire you and your team, if you have a team working with you, to push forward. Number three, the measurements. Goals allow you to track the progress and make necessary adjustments. So if you know why you should set goals, it gives you direction, it gives you motivation, and something you can measure. Then, having said that, there are types of goals that you need to set that will help you to lead into building and achieving success. The two types of goals are, one is a short-term goal. So short-term goals are goals you want to achieve within days, within weeks, or months. Because sometimes a lot of people say, my goal is I want to be the biggest business person or the biggest in my industry over these years. And sometimes when they don't achieve that, they feel overwhelmed and feel stressed about it. So you want to set short-term goals. It could be, for example, you want to increase your monthly sales with 10% or 15%. Or it could be you want to develop a new product line within the next 3 to 6 months. Now, the second type of goal is your long-term goal. As you achieve a goal, for example, you want to set a long-term goal, you want to expand your business into a new market, in a new country, or in a new community, or in a new part of the country where you live. So back to the question, the characteristics of a successful goal is, one, it has to be very specific because effective goals are often described as SMART goals. So it has to be specific, clearly define what you want to achieve within a period of time. If you want to increase your sales with 10%, you have to be very specific that. And the second effective goal is that it has to be measurable because quantifying your goal is so that the progress can be tracked, because what you don't track, you lose track. And what you don't track, you cannot measure. And when you're not having a sense of progress because you can't measure it, you feel overwhelmed. But if you can track it, measure it, and achieve some little goals, you feel that confidence, you build that momentum, and help you to achieve set goals. Then the third characteristic is it must be achievable. That means ensure it is realistic, giving you the resources that you need to be able to achieve it. And the fourth one is it must be relevant, because sometimes people set goals that does not align with their business objectives. So it must be relevant to the business you have, to the things you are doing, so that you can align yourself to it and give it what it takes for you to achieve it. And again, the last one is must be time-bound. So set a deadline for achieving the goal. So with that in place, it will help you to move forward and make progress and achieve success with your goal setting.
So you mentioned SMART goals. What are they like compared to not SMART goals? What is the difference?
SMART goals are things that you want to accomplish. It is specific. You could describe it to your team member if you have a team member. You could describe it to your children if you have a child. You could describe it to your wife if you are married. So SMART goals are specific things you want to accomplish within a period of a time. Like, for example, my wife who runs, she has two businesses. Recently, I was helping her to put some structure in place with her business, and I was beginning to help her to set some specific goals in her business. And we were able to come up with very specific SMART goals that we want to achieve within the next 90 days. And one of them is she wants to increase 2 more employees because the demand for our services is increasing. She wants to employ 2 more employees, and also she wants to double her income for the next 90 days in her business. So it was very specific, and that being specific, it helped you to work towards making it happen. Now, the non-SMART goals that are vague. For example, you could say, I want to increase my income. I want to grow my sales. I want to build my business. What is an income? You need to be very specific. Does it mean if you get 1p or 1 penny, is that a goal? No. So if it's not smart, if it's not specific, you will just be living in denial. You'll be overwhelmed. You will not be able to know if you're making progress or not. So that's the difference between it, Martyn.
I'm glad you explained that very well. Thank you very much, because it's something that I've been thinking, what's a SMART goal? And anybody listening now who wasn't sure, that is a valuable little nugget there, all in one or 2 paragraphs from Efe. Thank you. What are some key differences between setting goals for a small business and versus, say, a much larger corporation?
Setting goals either as a small business or large corporation is a practice. Like the small business, there's somebody who owns that business, who is the leader of the business. And the larger corporation, they have leaders. They have their corporate leaders. If they don't set goals, there will be no clear sense of direction for the business, either the small one or the large corporation. So it's a practice that you bring into the business so that you can grow the business into where you want to grow it. And one of the mistakes I've seen happening in most businesses, they are not ambition, they are not driven, they have no goal. They settle for the status quo. They've been doing the same thing for the last 15, 20 years, getting the same result or less. And when you ask them, how long have you been in business? Some will say, I've been in business for the last 20 years. And maybe they've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years, so there's no growth. So it's very important, either as a large corporation, you need to set goals of expansion, goals of how much income you want to achieve, you want to earn, how much impact you want to contribute to the community with what you do, how you want to expand the business in terms of locations, in terms of sales, in terms of market domination, in terms of the market you are in, how you want to dominate the market. So you have to be very specific and have a timeline in doing that.
How often should small business owners review and adjust their goals?
Every day.
Wow.
When I work with clients, we set 12 months goal, 2 years goals, and 90 days goals. That the habits of making it a reality is, or the mistake, if I say first, the mistake a lot of people do is they only set goals at the beginning of the year, because that's where people come up and they say, I want to change my life, I want to grow my business, I want to make New Year resolution. And they say, yes, I'm going to do this. And after that, they don't go back to that goal they've written down again. And they now go back to the normal routine, the bad habit, the bad decision and choices which deprive you from setting goals. So a goal setting is something you do on a daily basis. So for example, if you say you want to build a business to earn 10 million pounds within the next 12 months, for example, that's good. So now you have to write down your goal as a daily habit. You get a notebook like this, some habit. Every single day, you get a pen and you write down your top 10 goals for the next 12 months. You write it every single day without referring to what you wrote yesterday. Sometimes when you're writing out this goal, you may not write the same thing that you wrote yesterday. And the more you write it without making reference to what you wrote yesterday, the more you are being honest and true to yourself, the more you are clarifying your desire, the things you want to write. And the more you write it, the clearer it becomes. And it got to a stage, you will now be writing the same thing every day, and that becomes your true goal. And the thing is, what I've come to realize between achievers and non-achievers is achievers, they think about what they want and they talk about what they want most of the time. So as a result of that, they are clear of what they want, their goals, they think about it, they talk about it. And in this world, what you think about and talk about is what you attract to yourself and to your business. Why the non-achievers who have no goals, what they do, rather than not talking about their goals, they complain, they moan, they give excuses, they blame people, they blame the government, they even blame their customers, they blame their staff member, they blame a lot of people, they more. And as a result of that, they attract negativity, which in a way affect them, deprive them from not making progress with their business or personal life.
So can you share an example of a goal that you set for your own business and how you achieved it?
Yeah, one of the goals that I set to myself in my business now, I have not been really present online. And I said within the next 90 days, because of the demand I have in my business, I need to hire an internet marketing expert who will help me to improve my online business operation so that I can increase my income 100% than and double my income right now. So what I did, I set the goals, I hire somebody who will help me to look into my website, build my online course, and I set some goals of income I want to generate and online. It's a 90-day goal. So those are very specific goals I could share with you right now.
Excellent. What are some of the common pitfalls that small business owners should avoid when they're setting goals? Because we all know about goal setting, but it doesn't always work, does it? What are they doing wrong?
The pitfall is that they don't set goals. And as a result of that, they don't achieve their goals. Then the second thing is that they are not disciplined. Even some people have some very specific goals and good goals. They are not disciplined in taking action to make it a reality. Because it's one thing to have a goal, it's another thing to take action to make it a reality. So it's about taking action. And most people, when they take action, they get discouraged because they have not really achieved their result. Discouragement now comes in, they procrastinate, they give up, and they move on. It doesn't happen that way. So if you have a very specific goal and you have enough reason why you want to make it a reality, you try, you keep trying until you achieve that goals. So when I do that with clients, there are 4 Ds that I use to explain this. First of all, the first D is desire. You must desire this goal. Desire it enough that this is something you truly want for yourself, for your business, right? And the second D is the discipline to take action on a daily, weekly, monthly basis until you achieve it. Then the third day is the decision to practice new habits that will help you build momentum and achieve this goal. And the fourth day is the determination to persist until you succeed. If that is how you live, you will find out that the things you set your eyes on and you desire them, with this kind of habit, you'll be able to make things happen and expand and grow your business and achieve more freedom for yourself.
So what role does mentorship or coaching play in setting and achieving business goals?
Big roles, big one. Like the people I'm privileged to be mentoring and coaching is one of the roles I help people is to help them to have clarity of direction. That is the first thing I do with clients, because a lot of people are swamped with a lot of demand. Things come their way. And if you don't have a mentor or a coach in this role who become your accountability success partner, you'll be doing a lot of things, be pulled to so many directions. But the role of a coach is to become your success accountability partner. So like me, when I work with clients, there are 5 things I help my client to do with my role as their coach or mentor. First thing is I help them to clarify the vision and their goals. Second thing is that I help them to strategize their actions so that they will know what they should be doing week in and week out and every month. The third thing is that I help them to master the skill set that they require, that will help them to effortlessly act on their goals, to build their business, increase their income, and make more money. The fourth one is that to master their psychology, the mindset, the fear, those limiting beliefs that stop them from actually going beyond and doing what they need to do. The fifth one is how they can master the environment, the people they allow into themselves, or where they work from, their place of work, their office, the people around them, friends and family. How do they maximize these environments so that it becomes something that helps them to optimize whatever they do to achieve the results quickly and more efficiently?
Now, I know you have tools, software, and courses, etc. How would somebody get in touch with you?
Yeah, just go to my website, www.efeOhwoEfesa.com. Just browse around this, see some of my free resources, some of my free course, maybe some of my paid one. If you wish to work with me one-on-one, make sure you send me an email at info@efeOhwoEfesa.com. And I'm happy to support anyone that wants to move forward in having clarity, focus, and achieving their goals quicker and faster.
And on a final word, how do you foresee goal setting changing for small businesses in the next few years?
The response to that is what I will remember from one of my mentor, Anthony Robbins. He says, people with goals succeed. Why? Because they know where they are going to. So in the next few years, if you want to succeed, set goals, because your goals help you to make decisions, choices that will help you to be focused and move forward and achieve your goals quicker.
Efe OhwoEfesa, a true focus guru. Thank you very much for the podcast. That was sensational. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martyn.